This one is a comparison of Genshin Impact versus Tower of Fantasy. So it's a full comparison. This video is 4.5-ish minutes, which is good. This one here's done by Tibet Times. I'm actually looking forward to the comparison. So, yeah. Okay, let's
Hello
start
everyone,
at the beginning.
this is Tibet Times, my dear YouTube frogs. I will do a full comparison between Genshin Impact and Tower of Fantasy, and the reason I am making this video is because this is the #1 question on everyone's mind: which game is better? And as a veteran who played both games since the launch, I think I have the credibility to do this comparison. Now without further ado, let's get started. First, I will do this comparison based on 10 points that will affect me as a player and make me want to play the game or not. So let's start with our first point, the graphics. Both games have an amazing graphics from the characters to the world.
I still think
but
Genshin,
Impact
from what I've seen,
looks more polished and more rich compared to Tower of Fantasy. As for the music, Tower of Fantasy music is really good, but you can't compare
nothing
it
can
to
beat
Genshin
Genshin.
Impact, because Genshin Impact have one of, if not the best music I have ever heard, and no one can deny that. As for the story, both games have a good plot and a good story, but the difference is that Genshin Impact story have more depth and very interesting lore behind it, while Tower of Fantasy have a straightforward and generic plot. Now for the combat, systems and exploration. Even though the combat feels a bit junky on Tower of Fantasy, but it's a 100 times more fun than Genshin Impact. Also it have more depth and more freedom.
Ooh, did you hear that? 100 times more fun than Genshin Impact. It does look a little like, not cheap, but it does look a little kitty-like, but I kind of like that too. You're at 58 pity for Ayaka? Yeah, you'll get her soon.
This one will also go for Tower of Fantasy, because I need an entire video just to cover how much systems Tower of Fantasy have over Genshin Impact, like more endgame character progression systems, or the character creator, or the gadgets, or the mimicry system, and many more. And for the exploration, both games kinda have the same exploration aspects, but in Tower of Fantasy, you have mounts, double jump, dash through the air. You feel like you have more freedom over your character, so this one will also go for Tower of Fantasy. And now, last but not least,
wait a second. So we have all these vehicles and stuff. Like, look at how fun that weapon is. Wow. I think it's really worth a try.
Events, co-op, and endgame. Now let's start with the gacha. Even without comparison, Genshin Impact gacha is really bad, because in the worst luck conditions, you need 180 pulls in Genshin Impact to get your desired character. As for Tower of Fantasy, you need only 80, and the good thing about Tower of Fantasy gacha is that the pity does not reset, so you can get a 5-star character at 79 pull, and you will still get another one guaranteed at 80 pull. And it's one of the best gacha system I have ever seen in a gacha game.
Oh my gosh, that literally takes it to a whole nother level. Tower of Fantasy, did you hear that? If you get a legendary character at 79 pull and their pity is 80, you will still pull a second one right after that, because it doesn't reset until you get to 80. That is awesome. I really like that. That is a good system. All right.
Now for the events. The events are quite similar. Do this thing to get this reward. But Tower of Fantasy is way more generous than Genshin Impact. As for the co-op,
that's good.
Well, Tower of Fantasy is an MMO that have guilds, raids, open world events.
Oh, guilds!
As for Genshin Impact, it's just a single player game with a co-op feature, and it's not even mandatory, so yeah, Tower of Fantasy again. And now, the last thing, And the most important thing of all, the end game. Well, Tower of Fantasy have raids, PvP, Endless Abyss, and many more. As for Genshin Impact endgame,
PvP.
there is none. Yes,
there's none.
there is no endgame in Genshin Impact. Enough said, I guess. And now who is the winner after all of this? Well, you know it, me know it, and everybody know it, that the true winner is you. Yes, you my dear frogs, who will have the chance to enjoy these two beautiful games that are completely different.
Wait a second.
One is a single-player story-driven game with beautiful scenes and amazing music.
So
and
which
the other
one
one is an
on the
MMO game,
checklist?
focused more on systems, endgame, and multiplayer aspects. And that's it for the video, my dear frogs. But as always, I really love to hear your opinions.
Okay, that is just so sad. So sad. Mind you, underneath, the image is so happy. What the heck? Wait a second. Were we supposed to write this down and make a checklist ourselves? Oh. Great video. Very well done. But I would have liked to have seen the checklist at the end. Because to me, it sounded like Genshin was winning. And then it sounded like Tower Fantasy was winning. And then we didn't have a kind of end score there. So it seems better than Genshin Impact. You know what? They weren't wrong when they said, you are the winner. Because I was just thinking, like, hands down, like, I think both games, by the looks of it, seem... Again, I haven't played Tower Fantasy, but it looks like it would be something I wouldn't mind looking into. And we can all kind of start, because it's in beta right now, so, you know, that would also be really, really good. I'm gonna say that it's a thumbs up, but yeah, I think it's like almost a tie. So that's ridiculous. But yeah, the gameplay did look really interesting, 100%. So I'm thinking we look into it and maybe give it a try.